And we have more open doubles action for you here on table number one as we have the other open doubles semifinal. That's the team from Luxembourg. Steve Diaz at forward, Fabio Ferreira at goal, and on the right, that is Johannes Kirsch in the forward position and Tom Yore at goal. We are underway here in game number one. Best 3 out of 5. The winner of this one will advance to face Brian Moore and Jerry Todd in the open doubles final. Tom Yore, normally a forward, but playing predominantly in the goalie position this weekend, and that's because this man, Johannes Kirsch, has played extremely well. Of course, he designed the table, and you would think that he would be comfortable with it, but he has been excellent so far. And we'll see how that carries into this semifinal match. This is Steve Diaz. Diaz stroking that one home. It's 1-0 early on, and Steve with a great 3-row. This is a guy who was the captain, the coach of Team Luxembourg when they won the World Cup a few years ago. And one of the best multi-table players in the world. Here's Kirsch with his first scoring opportunity, and he'll shoot against Fabio Ferreira. Fabio, another one of those great Luxembourg players, and there's several of them. Probably the most famous, Yannick Correa, multi-table world champion 3 times, but Steve Diaz, Fabio Ferreira, also outstanding multi-table players. And very good on the Guardian here so far this weekend. And Steve will step away and call time out. Steve Diaz of Luxembourg will put the ball back into play. It is 1-0 here in the first game in favor of Diaz and Ferreira. Steve again shooting the pin shot and fires it home with authority to that far side. As we said, this is one of the best pin shooters in the world. When you're putting together your list of the best standard pin shooters, of course, Frédéric Collignon is going to be number 1. And there are several very good German players as well, but Steve Diaz is going to be very high on that list. Excellent 3-row shooter. Ferreira. Speaking of good shooters, this guy can really shoot it well from goal, from his 2-rod. He can also pass it, as he tries to do here. Blocked away, and it comes back to Fabio. Ferreira tried to come down the middle, taken away by Kirsch. Johannes Kirsch bringing it near side. Gives a fake towards the middle, loops, and then fires it back down the middle. It's a great possession there for Johannes Kirsch. It's 2-1. Winding down the open doubles competition here in HanShan this weekend. Tomorrow we'll have open singles for you. Tom Yore slides that one up the table, and it's caught on the 3-rod by Kirsch, who then lets it get away. 2-1 lead here in the first game for Diaz and Ferreira, and banked off that inside wall by Fabio, and that's something, again, that he can do very well. And it's 3-1 here in the first game. Kirsch able to pass it along the near wall. Johannes. Again, working it and then finding that near corner. Really read the defense beautifully there. It's 3-2. Steve Diaz. Has that one stolen away by Kirsch, who can tie it. Both forwards shooting it very well so far. That one was wide of the goal. Rebound comes back to Johannes. Trying to get a good set here, and he finally does. A lot of defensive movement shown by Ferreira, and he blocks that shot back down the middle. Fabio takes a look. He's already scored once off that inside wall. And turns this one over. Taken away by Kirsch. Another chance to tie it up at 3 here in the first game for Johannes Kirsch. Tried to angle that one back down the middle. Ferreira didn't give him the defense that he expected. Fabio takes it away, sent it to that short side where it's picked up by his partner, Steve Diaz. Diaz brushing it through the lane. Steve 2 for 2, shooting it so far against Tom Yore. Tom, a very experienced multi-table player, but generally the American players do not see a lot of standard front pins. Tom was able to take this one away. He'll now set it up just inside that far goal line. Tried to come down the middle with a pull shot attempt. Picked up here by Ferreira. Still 3-2 here in the first game in favor of the team from Luxembourg. And blocked back into the goal by Kirsch. It's 3-3. We're even at 3 goals apiece after 2 in a row from Kirsch and Yore. Diaz able to get this one through. Steve tried to come back down the middle. There's Yore to make the block and take it away. That's 2 blocks in a row for Tom. Yore with a pass. Clears the zone. Down the middle goes Ferreira. Blocked back up into the air and off the table. So Tom Yore will put it back into play. Yore from Tampa, Florida in the United States. Tom can score back here. He's got a good pull shot on this table. And looking to pass for the most part and does clear it again here. Gets it down to Ferreira. Diaz and Ferreira jumped ahead 3-1 in this first game, but Kirsch and Yore have scored the last 2 to tie it up at 3. Ferreira looking to score. Angles that one up the table and in. It's 4-3. So that's 2 for Fabio here in this opening game. Kirsch loses it backwards, then Diaz loses it all the way back to his partner Ferreira, who makes a nice save to keep it in his goal area. Fabio's shot attempt blocked by Kirsch, comes back to Ferreira, who will call time out. 4-3 lead here in game number 1 for Diaz and Ferreira as Fabio puts the ball back into play. Sends that one down the middle. It's captured by Yore. Tom Yore, a former multi-table world champion in open doubles back in 2011. And he angles this one into the goal. So Yore on the scoreboard, and he has tied it up at 4 here in game number 1. It feels like Diaz and Ferreira have been in control throughout this first game. Yet it is 4-4 as Kirsch and Yore perhaps looking to steal the game. Diaz looking to advance it. Kirsch makes the steal. Johannes passes it back down along the wall, and he's got a chance to close out game number 1. But first, a timeout. Fabio Ferreira will defend against Johannes Kirsch, who will put the ball back into play and look to claim this opening game. Kirsch for a first game win. Try to come back down the middle, blocked by Ferreira. Rebound comes back to Johannes Kirsch. And the left hook down the middle, blocked up into the air and off the table. It'll be put back into play by Fabio Ferreira. Still 4-4 here in the first game. The 2 goalies have had fairly significant impacts on this opening game. Each of them has scored, with Ferreira getting 2 goals. And they have defended well after the 2 forwards opened up 2 for 2. Shot down the middle here, blocked away, comes back to Ferreira. Fabio might be looking to bank here. Let's see. He did try to bank it. It spins forward. It's picked up on the 5 by Steve Diaz. And taken away by Kirsch. Still 4-4. Still game 1. Kirsch could not collect that one. Again picked up by Fabio. Ferreira goes wide of the goal, and Yore with the rebound. See what Tom's looking to do here. Perhaps the long pull shot. Let's see. He does try to go long. It is on goal, and it's blocked and taken away by Ferreira. Fabio off the outside wall, and Kirsch able to capture the rebound. Johannes Kirsch, again, for a first game win. He's going to set up a snake shot and stroke it home far side. So Kirsch switches to the snake and wins game number 1. Here we go, second game underway. Ball put into play by Steve Diaz. Diaz passing it along the near wall. Steve got off to the good start in game number 1, scoring his first 2 shots, and then he was never heard from again. And Yore with a block, rebound, caroms up the table to Kirsch. Johannes Kirsch, again back to the snake. Walking it, tried to come near side, taken away by Ferreira. So Johannes Kirsch surprising everyone as he goes to the snake shot to win the opening game, and there's Ferreira, no surprise there. That's 3 of their 5 for Fabio Ferreira from goal. And it's 1-0. Boy, if you're a forward, it's awfully nice to have that goalie back there who can score a few goals for you. Also defend well. Fabio has this one blocked and stolen by Kirsch. And he flips it over down the middle. It's 1-1. Really didn't give Fabio a chance to get into his defense. He just got it, saw it, and stroked it right down the middle with a flip over. We're even up at a goal apiece here in this second game. And again, the steal by Kirsch. He has been very good defensively on the 5-row. Looking at the standard front pin here. Walking it, looping. And then coming back to that near corner. Boy, Fabio never came off that corner with his goalie man until Kirsch gave that little hitch, that little fake, and then found that near corner. That was a really nice shot by Johannes Kirsch. It's 2-1. Again, getting a piece of that one. Now we're going to ask for a jar. Tom, your thought that perhaps that ball came back into his area, and you hear him saying that he thought that Steve banged that inner wall. Steve saying no, he doesn't think it was a jar. Let's play. Diaz will put it back into play. And there's Yore to make the block. The rebound again comes to Kirsch. 1-0 lead for Johannes Kirsch and Tom Yore. 2-1 lead here in game number 2 for the team on the right. Kirsch able to get this one through. Johannes again using the standard pin shot. Faking. Taking a lot of time here, trying to flick that one down the middle. Yore eventually able to pick up the rebound. Tom again will shoot the pull shot. Nope, going to bring it across with a pass off of Kirsch's 3-rod and in. It's 3-1. Well, Tom was looking to pass there, sent it with some speed down that near side. It was redirected into the goal by Kirsch with his 3-rod. It's now 3-1. And Steve Diaz still has not scored in quite a while until now as he hammers home that pin shot to the far side. It's 3-2. And he steals it away here. Chance to tie it here in game number 2. Or Steve Diaz, who strokes it home near side. So Steve with 2 aggressive efforts. We're even up at 3. E3 here in the second game after 2 in a row for the Luxembourgish team. Yore fires that pull shot down the middle. 1-0 lead for Kirsch and Yore. And again, Tom with that long pull shot. Rebound grabbed by Kirsch. For the lead, Johannes brings it across, kind of an off-speed effort to the far side. It's 4-3. He gave Fabio enough time to come off that hole before he found that far corner. That's a great shot there, unexpected shot from Johannes Kirsch. And back comes Diaz, who has scored his last 2. Steve. Again, hammering home that pin shot to the far side. 4-4 here in the second game. First game went 4-4 as well before Kirsch and Yore were able to put it away. And Johannes able to advance it and call time out. Johannes Kirsch will put the ball back into play and look to win the second game. Shooting against Fabio Ferreira. Kirsch. Stokes at home near side. It's 2-0. Strong effort so far from Johannes Kirsch and Tom Yore, who have won the first 2 games by identical 5-4 scores as we head to game number 3. And this is a game that Steve and Fabio must have to stay alive. The winner of this one will face Ryan Moore and Jerry Todd in the open doubles final. Diaz has been very aggressive on the last few possessions on the 3-rod, but has been a little bit tentative on the 5. A lot of that due to the very good defense of Johannes Kirsch. And again, there's Fabio off the outside wall. That's 4 in the match for Fabio, and he has opened up the scoring here in game number 3. It's 1-0. Fabio Ferreira can catch fire at any time from the 2-rod. He's an excellent shooter back there. You saw him hit that outside bank on the last possession. And he angles this one up the table and in. That's number 5 for Fabio. It's 2-0. Very strong open doubles field here this weekend with players from Europe, of course China, Malaysia, the United States, all here to compete. A Japanese player, Hiromi Okamura, here as well. We're down to the final 3 teams. There's these 2, and there's Ryan Moore and Jerry Todd, and that's it. And again, Fabio. He's showing you 3 different looks. He has scored 3 so far here in this third game, and a total of 6 for the match. What an exhibition of shooting by Fabio Ferreira. He banked one, he angled one, and then he brought that pin shot squarely down the middle to the far corner. That one spins forward, and it's knocked in by the 5 of Diaz. It's 4-0. So a great response here in game number 3 by the team from Luxembourg, as they now are leading 4-0. That one's going to come back, and there you see Diaz called the jar on himself and hands the ball back to Yore. Yore will put it back into play. 4-0 lead here in game number 3 for Diaz and Ferreira. 2-0 lead for Kirsch and Yore here in this semifinal of open doubles. And again, there's Fabio off the inside wall. He gets 4 in that third game, and it's now 2-1. Johannes Kirsch will put the ball back into play. And what a performance in that last game from Fabio Ferreira, who has scored 7 times in this match from the goalie position. But still, it is a 2-1 deficit for Diaz and Ferreira. Nice grab here by Diaz. Steve looking to capitalize on the momentum of that third game with Ferreira. I believe might have even gone 4 for 4. Actually, 4 for 5. There was the one that spun forward and Diaz knocked in with his 5. That's some pretty good shooting. That's Ryan Moore type shooting. I'm not sure Ryan can do it on this table like he does it on Tornado. We'll find out perhaps tomorrow in singles. Kirsch. Try to go out to that far side. Great block there by Ferreira. Rebound comes to Diaz. Steve. Strokes it home far side. So Steve Diaz also now shooting the ball very well. It's just a matter of can he get enough possessions. Two games to one lead for Kirsch and Yore, but the momentum certainly on the left side right now. And Steve Diaz and Fabio Ferreira leading 1-0 here in the fourth game. They have scored the last 6 goals of this match as they won game number 3, 5-0 behind 4 goalie scores from Fabio Ferreira. Tom Yore. Strokes it down the middle. It's 1-1. So Tom Yore with his second goal of the match. He has put several other shots on goal. And Tom now has tied it up at 1 here in game number 4. Diaz takes his time, then brushes it steeply up to his 3-rod. And there's Yore with another block, and Tom able to grab it. 2 blocks in a row for Tom Yore. And he's also scored 1. So Tom with a good start here in this fourth game. Trying to pass here, intercepted and taken away by Steve Diaz. And another block here for Tom, but another possession for Diaz. Who strokes it home to the far side. One lead for Diaz and Ferreira. And right now, the difference is that Steve Diaz has been getting possessions and he has been taking advantage of them. Kirsch getting a possession here. Johannes takes a look. Tried to come near side, mishit it, lost it, picked up by Ferreira. Fabio's shot attempt, grabbed on the 5 by Johannes Kirsch. Bounces that one towards the goal. Nice save by Fabio. 2-1 lead in games for Johannes Kirsch and Tom Yore. 2-1 lead in goals here in the fourth game for Steve Diaz and Fabio Ferreira. Shot down the middle on goal, blocked up into the air and off the table by Tom Yore. Yore will put the ball back into play. Yore has the only goal for his team here in game number 4. As he slides that one up the table. Nice catch here by Kirsch. Johannes Kirsch. So again, as he brings it across, he kind of hesitates, allowing the defender to come off the hole, and then finds the near corner. It's 2-2. That is a planned play and a nice one. And knocked back into the goal. The defensive score from Kirsch, and suddenly Kirsch and Yore ahead 3-2 here in game number 4. That's 2 defensive scores from Johannes Kirsch in this match, negating somewhat a couple of Fabio Ferreira's 7 goals. And we're going to get a timeout here. Johannes Kirsch will put the ball back into play. Kirsch, quick shot near side, blocked by Ferreira. Rebound comes back to Johannes. Kirsch. taking some time here. Tried to come near side. Ferreira not giving him that near corner. Rebound caroms right to Steve Diaz. Big possession here for Steve, who strokes it home to the far side. It's 3-3. Kirsch had a chance to make it 4-2. Ferreira with the block. Diaz with the possession, and he evens it at 3 goals apiece here in this 4th game. Brushed through by Kirsch. Johannes Kirsch will shoot for the lead. Kirsch tried to come down the middle, blocked by Ferreira. Comes back to Johannes, who quickly hammers it home. It's match point. 4-3 lead for Kirsch and Yore here in game number 4. Steve Diaz putting it into play. Pass it along that near wall. Steve will set it up, looking to tie it up. And he does. Again, pounding that far side. It's 4-4. And Diaz will call time out. Match point for Kirsch and Yore as Johannes puts it into play. He brushes it through the lane. Chance to win the match and advance to the finals for Johannes Kirsch and Tom Yore. Kirsch walking it out to that far side. And he'll call time out. Johannes Kirsch will put the ball back into play. Another chance to send his team to the final. Kirsch setting it up far side, now brings it to the middle, back out to the far. Fakes. Tried to come near side, taken away by Ferreira. Johannes really took his time nicely there, but sent it just wide of the goal on the near side. Ferreira has that one almost knocked back into his goal. Fabio once again. Angles that one on goal. Blocked by Yore, sent forward. Oh, we're going to ask for a jar here. And they're going to give it to him. So the jar called, and that means Johannes Kirsch will have possession of the ball on his 3-rod and another opportunity to win the match. Not too much of an argument there from Diaz and Ferreira as Kirsch puts it back into play. For the win, Johannes Kirsch. Fires it home to that short side, and in 4 games, Johannes Kirsch and Tom Yore defeat Steve Diaz and Fabio Ferreira to advance to the Open Doubles Final.